The emoji that I use a lot that I send to him is a crown, is it not?
It is. And
I've never sent you a poop emoji.
no, there's been others.
I've wanted to,
Yeah.
but I've never sent it. I always use the crown.
I do the same thing. I have an emoji and it actually looks like, because that's the only one you could to choose from on the phone. It looks like a little girl. And the first time she see it, I said, she was like, "What is this?" And I was like, "Well, it's a queen."
I'm gonna catch it for this, but
Wow.
y'all remember Living Color where there was Handyman on there? I don't mean that in the I see. I knew the look was coming. I don't mean it
What
in
else do
that
you, how
sense
else do you expect me to respond to that?
because his job was to fix things, and that's what you do. I truly believe there's nothing that you can't fix, and you fix so much in your life, and you fixed. I think you would wear special helmets sometimes too.
Well, that's what I was about to say.
It would not be politically correct for me to go any further with that
Yeah.
statement, so I'm gonna leave it there. We're in a good place. I don't want to go off the cliff. Your turn.
Well, I was gonna say something else, but so I like The Incredibles. There's a new one out. I saw it when I went to the farm. Ask the girl because she is flexible, and in the movies, she's always super protective of her family, her kids, and her husband. She'll do anything, put herself in danger to protect her family. So see, I'm being nice.
And I've had to come get you. We're actually both from Stockton. It's interesting that our families have always known one another. Our fathers went to high school together. We just didn't meet until I was 22 and he was 31. That was at the right time for us to meet. Earlier than that, probably would have a different outcome.
There would be no outcome.
We met there. I met him through his aunt. His aunt insisted that I needed to meet her nephew. This is her favorite nephew. She harassed me about it until I took her to meet him. I'm gonna let you fill in some of those other details. But we've been married 26 years. This anniversary is 27.
Around 27.
He's been my Valentine for 27 years, which is important because we technically decided to do this thing on Valentine's Day in 1998. That's why Valentine's Day is special to us. Helps us to keep track.
I don't know
Lots of
how
details for you to
far
fill in.
I should go about how we met. I don't mind giving, because I'm not ashamed of where I come from. I was born in Stockton. I moved to Oakland when I was really young. I took some bad turns. I wasn't raised in the best environment. When we met, I was actually on my way. I was in the county jail and I was on my way to prison. And I fell in love with her as soon as I saw her. You know, you hear that thing, and I believe it's 100% true because it happened for us. And we've been through quite a bit with my background and her actually coming from the opposite place of where I come from. I
was raised as a Jehovah's Witness. Half of my family still is, and half of them are not. Half of his family still are, and half of them are not. I was married before at 18, literally filed for divorce the month that I met him. And I was looking for something completely opposite of what I just left. And oh, did I find it? Details in prayer are important. His aunt wanted me to take him to the county jail to meet him. She wanted to go on a visit, but she didn't have a vehicle. She was harassing me about meeting him. I said, okay, I will take you to meet your nephew. She wanted me to come in the room and meet him. I said, fine, I will do that. After that, the agreement is that I'm not going to hear about this anymore. Because I was hearing about him at nauseum. I'm like, I'm good. No more.
And I got her.
As I often tell, it was orange. Never seen anybody rock orange like this man. I had to come back, take another look.
I want to answer that first. I was in a relationship before, a long-term relationship. I helped her raise her kids. So I always wanted to have a family, but because of the things that I was going through, I wasn't really in a position to do that. So with her, it was like a fresh start for me. Um, First and foremost, she's absolutely stunning, and I couldn't resist that. She actually had me nervous, and I'd never been nervous with no woman. That was not a problem for me. When I saw her, I saw something different. When she came back, because of where I was at, I didn't believe she would come back and see me. I mean, look at where I was. Stereotypical thing is, people who are in jail are all horrible people. At my core, I wasn't. She saw that. I just saw a chance to have something different, like a family and things that I didn't even know I wanted. I found out a whole lot later about what I really wanted. Now I know, like I've known for a long time. That's what happened.
I think for me, I don't know. I think I just went in there. First of all, I went in there with the thought process of I'm doing this so I can be left alone, number one. But there, but when we started talking, because the aunt left the room, and it was just he and I talking, and I'd never been in that environment, but it was just something about him. He wasn't trying to, run game or run some stupid line. Well, you did say one thing, but after that, it was just a very honest conversation, and I wasn't sure what to expect from him. He looked me right in my eye and asked me lots of questions about me. It wasn't anything, um, I don't know. It was just something that I picked up as I'm like, okay, there's something about this person. And I went back the following weekend because I wanted to go without the aunt, without all the pressure, so that I could see, did I really see something? Was it me kind of caught off guard by the entire situation? I mean, it was a lot for me to take in. It was a lot.
Very, very different.
Anyway, I went back and visited him, and same thing. I think I just saw something in his eyes, and his spirit was different. After we got past the fact that he showed me a picture of someone else's child and said he wanted one of those, that was how we started off the conversation. After we moved on, like, this dude is intense.
I've always been a very honest person, and that has not changed. Hey.
Hide anything. It was a sincere, genuine honesty that I saw. It just drew me to him. This is the first thing that comes into my mind. We have like an agreement about our meals, like Londo handles breakfast, then dinner is kind of more my area. He will pack everything up. He packs up my little cart. I take a roller cart into work. He walks me to my car, puts my cart in the back seat, and makes sure that I'm good. I'm all buttoned up before I go off to work the day that I go in. And I really appreciate that. That makes me feel really loved to do that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that you do, so it's kind of hard to pick one thing, but I would say that's kind of like the first thing that popped into my mind. I appreciate
No, it's kind of hard to answer.
I figured.
He does, and I'm sure she doesn't know it. If I'm laying down or getting ready to go to bed and she walks past me, when she rubs my foot, she just touches my foot. And it's just a small thing, but it's just a touch. It's saying, I love you. You know what I mean? We do all kinds of things throughout our day to show each other. And it's not even necessarily going out of your way, but just that little thing. And I'm sure I never tell you that.
You did not. Well, I might have to make sure I keep that up.
Honestly, until we got with you guys and start doing what we're doing, I never got any advice on marriage. One thing, my mother and my aunt said, whoever you marry, make sure they know how to cook. Well, because I'm half Mexican, and I come from a family where my grandmother used to take care of us. So the boys, we never had to do anything as far as cooking. My granny
Because
said
you're a
that
really
too.
good cook.
Yeah, my granny said that too.
Good
You
thing.
make sure whoever you marry, she knows how to cook. I don't know if that's bad marriage advice, but I've never, honestly, where I come from, never got any advice on marriage at all.
I think advice that I've gotten is
Leave him, he ain't no good.
well,
you know it's true.
yes, but I think what it is that there's been a small percentage of people when we've gone through our trials that actually encouraged prayer and praying for him and how to fight for my family in prayer. I can really only narrow that down when we were starting to have some issues in our old church in Modesto to really 3 people that were like my spiritual big sisters. I got a lot of, you don't have to take this, you don't have to this and that. Whether or not that's true, people can look at situations however they want. It's advice that I try to give to people when they're going through. I don't want to get too far down that rabbit hole. Regardless of whatever it is that you end up doing in your marriage, if you're in a situation that does need to end or you need to separate or whatever the case is, I always encourage people to fight in prayer and to seek God's advice for their situation. I did not get a lot of that before. It was more of a, you do you, you don't have to do this, da 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 da, more of a worldly perspectives. That to me is
That's bad, man.
I understand why people were saying what they were saying at the time, but that wasn't the advice that I needed.
Yeah, it depends. 'Cause you can't put that blanket over everybody when you're outside looking in.
Well, it depends on the spirit in which things are given. If it's not given in the right spirit, then
That's bad.
some people's spirit is, he left the toilet seat up, girl, you don't have to put up with that.
She's very affectionate, like touchy, very, very. When I first get home or something like that, when as all of my days are hard, sometimes I just want space, and we've talked about it before. It don't happen. There's times, or when I'm irritated, then why you see? I tell you guys about to get me in trouble. There's times when I just need space. I love that she does that because first of all, it's who she is by nature, affectionate, touchy, and that's how she shows her love. Sometimes it's secretly annoying.
The real is when I give the man space, what's wrong, woman? Why don't you talk to me? So, there is some of that too. My husband asks a lot of questions. This is just the way that he processes. He asks a ton of questions. Sometimes the questions are a bit much for me, but
That's because you don't answer them right.
I do answer them right. It's more than a yes or no. There's always context. There's always more. You need the context to understand how to move forward. Anyway,
Your answer is
my answer is I do appreciate the fact, and I love that you are concerned, that you're not just checked out into, yeah, whatever. While the questions annoy me sometimes, I do know that it's your way of trying to connect and understand what's going on with me or the situation, the kids. A lot of times it's with me. You care. That's what all that is coming from. I'm not in any way encouraging more questions. I'm just saying that this is what, in all honesty, I do appreciate your concern.
I wish that they knew that if you love your spouse the way God loves your spouse, you will treat your wife differently. I learned that some time ago. She, she gets on my nerves. She's touching me too much. That's what I love her the way God does. Seriously though, if you use that as a marker, you will have more patience. And all right, since I started doing it, I have more patience. I have more empathy and a lot more love for her because of that. If people knew that, their life would change.
I agree. Maintaining your friendship is huge. That means it needs to nurtured and maintained throughout the process, because when the kids are gone, or almost gone in our case, and one foot out the door, it's y'all. It's y'all. I mean, there has to be, the friendship has to continue. I felt so many times, if we've argued and gotten mad at each other, that there's that extra motivation to make up or to make amends, because this is also my best friend. And it's not just one thing. We're tethered together in a lot of different ways. So several years ago, when we decided to really be more intentional about our relationship, our friendship grew and our friendship got stronger too.
A marriage kit with 3 things in it. Movie tickets, because going to the movies with my wife is not just a date. We started doing together a long time ago, and that's where you really connect. I think that's how we connect at the movies. Just
Yeah, especially now that we watch them.
falling asleep.
You weren't always falling asleep. Okay. Anyway, so movie tickets and
Starter kit, 3 things.
we really like going to the show. We like to cook together too. Maybe a cookbook. We enjoy cooking. There's several meals that we make where he'll make some stuff and then I make the other stuff. We like to cook together, at least when you have your own counter space and I don't come and invade your spot.
The other thing would be a bag that has a candle in it. Back in the days, it used to be like an MP3 or a cassette. Tell my age. And
yeah, you gotta have riding music.
Yeah, riding music is right.
Yeah,
So
we have a little channel that we created, and that's like the music we listen to when we go on trips. We gotta have that.
in that kit, though, you need to have the candle to relax, the music for mood,
Stress ball throwing.
and coconut oil. You have to keep it real when you're talking about marriage. Marriage. Well, you can put that in that bag too.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Well, I think the Bible has to be in there too, but absolutely. First and foremost. But I don't know. It's hard to narrow it down to 3 things. I think there's so many things that are important, but About that one a little bit more. There's two.
Survival kit.
Hmm. I would put in there that box that we have. I would tell them to add a toy box.
Absolutely for survival. Just saying.
100, I would tell them to add a toy box. A calendar, because I think it's important. This is something that we've learned to do as we've matured, is to schedule time together, be a little more in control of our calendars. So we're making sure that our time is in there, and how we're structuring our days, and that we're on the same page and we know what's going on.